What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So Tyson Fury goes on another rant, blasting Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, claiming that they're bums, that they're big dozers, that they're not very talented, and he's gonna walk right through them. Even in the wake of avoiding Deontay Wilder in the rematch, when he could have easily taken the rematch, as he was offered 50-50. Deontay was willing and able to take the rematch and offer him a rematch as the champion. And Tyson Fury is still running off of, you know, Tyson Fury is still running off of moral victories. Just glad to come away with the situation the way it was. He's fighting Tom Schwartz. He's claiming that the reason he's fighting Tom Schwartz is because he's a big, tall guy. They didn't want to go into fighting Oscar Rivas, who's only 6 foot tall. They want to have a tall guy, coming off of preparing for a tall guy in Deontay Wilder, who's obvious 6'7", and then planning to fight with either Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua after this interim fight. And so they wanted a tall guy. They didn't want to go from a tall guy to a short guy back to a tall guy. So, they want to stay on schedule with a tall guy, someone in the top 10. They said that they looked at the rankings and Tom Schwartz was ranked in the top 10. And then all of a sudden, you look on BoxRec and he's ranked 42 or something like that. They said they're not trying to avoid the big fights. It's just that, they wanted the interim fight. So then he goes on to state that, Deontay Wilder is not known. Anthony Joshua is a dozer. He's only known in the UK. But Tyson Fury has ample opportunity to fight both fighters. And Tyson Fury seems like he's dancing around it. Now Tyson Fury's insulting them, claiming that they'll both be broke. They could come work for him. He'll employ them. They could clean his pool, so on and so forth. Here's a few things Tyson Fury had to say, okay? Here we go. End quote. Deontay's a nobody. Let's face it. The Gypsy King, the Gypsy King said, he was nobody before he fought me. He lost to me. He's still a nobody. No interest in talking about the bum. Big bum dozer. That's all he is. So if that's the case, this is what he says. Quote, let's quote again. Deontay's a nobody. Let's face it. He was nobody before he fought me. He lost to me, and he's still a nobody. No interest in talking about the bum. Big bum dozer. So if he was a bum before you fought him, and he was a bum after you fought him, and you beat him already, but officially on the scorecards and on the records, you didn't beat him. You didn't win, right? So why not just rematch him? He lost. He's the one that's a bum. He's the one that's still a champion, but he's offering and trying to make the fight with you. So what does that say about you, right? Why didn't you just take it? Or you're just happy you settled with a moral victory. You're just happy to get away in the manner that you did, right? With the people, when you have people on your side who's rooting for you and rooting against Deontay Wilder saying you won the fight. So you're just happy to stay with that, right? Then he moves on to Anthony Joshua. And then again, he says he has no interest in talking about Deontay Wilder, but in the same token, he's going to quote, saying that he's preparing. He wants to stay with Tom Schwartz, who's a big, tall guy, because he wants to move on to fight one of the top three, right? And then he mentions Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder as one of the top three. So are they bums? And did you beat Deontay Wilder, right? So why prepare for somebody tall when you could have just went right to the horse's mouth, right? So we understand what's going on here, right? So Tyson Fury really didn't want to fight with Deontay Wilder. We all understand that, right? And then he goes on to talk about Anthony Joshua, right? Quote, Anthony Joshua is even bigger dozer. He has no interest in fighting me. I'll tell you what I can do with the both of them. I could give them a job carrying my boots and my bags. So when they've all been busted very soon, when they fight each other and knock lumps off each other, and they get beat up and they lose and their careers are over, they could come to the Gypsy King and I'll employ them. Okay, so let's just end that quote right there. So when they're all beat up, so he's planning on trying to wait out Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder and let them, sort of knock each other off. So he's saying that once they done knocking lumps off of each other. So he's planning on waiting until, they soften each other up. So this seems like this is the plan for Tyson Fury, right? He's waiting till Deontay Wilder and Tyson and Anthony Joshua face each other, because he's banking on the fact that most likely they'll have a rematch. So he says after they're done knocking each other off and they're losing, right? Then he'll employ them, right? So he wants them to soften each other up before he takes the fight. Okay? Then he goes, because let's face it, they've not got the most brains in the world. So I'll give them a job when they've spent all their money, because it's coming. When they're all skint, I'll employ you boys. Don't worry. I'll bring you over. You can brush up my drive, carry my bags, clean my pool, feed my animals, and pick up the dog S, because that's all you're going to be good for sooner or later. End quote. So he's saying that they're going to knock each other off. They'll beat each other up. They're not very smart in the manner he is, So he took the money with ESPN, and they're not that smart. So he went over there, and so at the end, when it's all said and done and the dust clears, he'll be the last man standing, because he hasn't taken the punishment. He would have avoided the punishment, right? And then he would have waited it out, let them soften each other up, beat up on each other, and then he'll take the fight with one another, right? And he's claiming that that's the smart move. So he's using business. He's business savvy and letting them knock each other off, and then he'll revisit fighting them, right? And then he says so he'll employ them, because they won't have anything, and they're gonna burn through their money, according to Tyson Fury, right? I'm highly disappointed in the new version of Tyson Fury, and it just seems like Tyson Fury, when he went into the Wilder fight, it seemed like, it was all about legacy. It wasn't about money. It was things of that nature. He even talked about giving away his purse. And it's not about money. How much money can you have? Have all the money. Money is not everything. Money's the rule of all evil. Money doesn't make you happy. He talked about his depression and having all the money and still being depressed, and, not wanting to be on earth and things of that nature, but he's done it 360 since. And now his whole conversation is money. Now his whole approach is money. And now it's no longer mentioning legacy at this point in time. Now he's just mentioning money and what someone brings to the table and what he's done now in signing his contract. And he has the better business mindset out of the top three. This is highly disappointing coming from Tyson Fury, who seemed hell-bent and willing and able to just build his legacy, want the legacy fights. He blamed Joshua for not having a Wilder fight, so on and so forth. And we know how this story plays out. But it just seems like Tyson Fury has no interest in fighting Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. He has no interest in taking punishment. He has all interest in just staying in shape and earning the most money that he possibly can. And that's all said and well. It's just a thing that it seems like he fooled us. Fooled us once, shame on you. Fooled us twice, shame on us. You know what I'm saying? As the fans. And Tyson Fury is making abundantly clear that he has no plans of having legacy fights. He just wants to strategically move around the division as safe as possible without taking punishment and getting the highest reward for the lowest risk at this point in time. As he pointed out, he's looking forward to Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua beating each other up, knocking bumps and bruises and lumps off of each other, giving each other losses and things of that nature, and then he'll come in and save the day. So highly disappointing of Tyson Fury, man. And I think at this point, hopefully we could get the Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, this whole saga, and as far as the business goes, out of the way, and we could get the best fighting the best. And hopefully they'll do, two super fights, possibly a trilogy like Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe type of situation, and kind of just forget about Tyson Fury at this point in time. He mentioned fighting Dylan White's too short, and then he said Tom Swartz is the perfect person because he's tall, and he looked to fight one of the top two heavyweights, Wilder and Joshua, after that. But it just seems like You know, just the way he's talking, he has no interest in fighting it either. But that's all I got, man. It's your boy Blue, man. Let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment in the comment section. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Tyson Fury says Deontay Wilder's a bum and Anthony Joshua is the even bigger bum. And when they knock each other off, he'll employ them, have them work for him as help. But that's all I got for y'all, man. It's your boy Blue. Make sure you like and share these videos. Peace.